This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today is February 7th, 2022. I'm Noah.
Xavier.
Logan.
Jesse.
Welcome back, guys. Let's just go over a couple quick things, and then we'll jump into like our Declaration of Independence, stuff like that.
I like it.
So just to start off, today's podcast will mostly be about the kind of the founding documents of this country. And we're in the United States. If any of you listen outside of that right now, that'll be kind of the main theme today, but we'll do a couple housekeeping things. First of all, some interesting investment opportunities that I'm looking into right now, something called liquidity mining in the cryptocurrency world. I wouldn't get into it unless you're well-versed, but it's got interesting prospects. I'll update on it as I proceed further into it. Also, got the current events of the Canadian trucker convoy. Mm-hmm. What's happening there, boys?
Basically, the police are trying to take away their gas. And so a bunch of people are bringing just empty gas cans because they can't stop everyone. For the gas, porta potties, they're just lining the streets with porta potties so they can use the bathroom. And they're still just honking their horns.
Nice.
They tried to call the military, and the military said no. We're not police.
Amen.
Yep.
Good.
And
it sounds like GoFundMe seized their funds
Yes.
and offered a refund by, was it February 19th or something?
I don't know.
So if you are in the GoFundMe on that, definitely get your refund as soon as possible because they are not going to be giving funds to them. And any excess funds they're going to give to a charity of GoFundMe's choice. So,
Which is totally, that
Like-
is in their terms of service, or terms and
Feels
service.
like it should be hella illegal, though.
it's grimy as fuck.
Absolutely, but now we know, don't go for
I can't.
GoFundMe.
This is like the second or third time they've done that. I can't believe, as a platform, they've not been like devastated.
They've done it for years, it sounds like.
Who did they do it to before?
So they've done it to the Proud Boys a few times.
Oh, yeah.
They've done it to just whatever organization they don't agree with. Not necessarily that they're inciting violence or anything, but just whatever they don't agree with. Like, nope, we'll just take that money. And it's not even that they'll just give it to a charity. They'll take the money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely
it's a little
slimy.
grimy. Can you find the other website? That's the other donation one. We'll find it.
Yeah.
I thought it was Go Send something.
I don't remember the exact thing.
Anyways, though, there are other websites, other ways you can provide assistance to the Canadian truckers and whatever truckers, just not GoFundMe. Bad idea. In other news, Joe Rogan, he has taken down over 100 of his episodes, and he sent out an apology video for all these things that he said. He said, basically in this apology video, that it is not right in any circumstance for a white person to say the N-word. And he had done it multiple times, and so he took down presumably any video that had that, among others. I don't know. More episodes are being taken down pretty much every day, so I don't know what the deal is there. But we're still finding news on that.
I think that's about it from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh, Getter, who had it? Gab?
Rumble.
Rumble?
Offered Joe Rogan $100 million to come over to their platform. I don't think he will, because then he'd have all sorts of things in his Spotify contract. I'm sure he'd have to figure out that. But
For being honest, do you figure he'd have something in there where if they was making him do shiz, he'd be able to
But I
jump
don't
out?
think it's Spotify taking his stuff down. I think it's Rogan himself.
It-
Based on that video.
Well, they put warnings on his videos, too,
Ah,
which I don't know how much he cares, but
interesting.
that would be enough for me.
Dude,
Yeah.
I can't find this.
That's fine.
I don't know. But, go ahead.
I was going to say, anyways, yeah, Joe Rogan's videos are being taken out off of Spotify slowly but surely. We'll see where that goes and how that develops. keep you guys posted.
I don't really think anything will happen.
No.
I think Joe's to the point where he's like, fuck everyone, fuck everything. I have the money. I don't need it. I don't care what happens.
Probably.
You
But-
should.
Yeah, well, yeah, he should, but he's also conforming to the mob.
He might fade
In a
away
way.
into the night.
I don't think he'll be
Then
stopped.
who do we have?
I don't think he'll fade away, but I definitely think it'll be less. He won't be the number one anymore.
The thing
But
is,
who can replace him?
he needs to put a stop to it because he's the most powerful voice, one of the most powerful voices, I'd say, in the world.
I dare say. Yeah.
And so,
Besides
if
the
he's
president, yeah.
even beyond the president, I would
he's-
say.
he's
Yeah, no one
more
cares
than,
what Joe
more than
Biden
Joe,
has to
but
say.
like the presidents of other countries and everything. Like
Yeah.
he's right up there with them.
Yeah, but pretty much if the mob is able to take him down, there's nobody stopping
Everybody's
him.
free game, yeah.
Yeah. So, he gave him blood, and now they're coming for more. They're sharks. And it is what it is.
Down.
That's my piece.
Amen. Any other current events news that we need to go over, boys?
Russia and
so.
Ukraine are still just touching each other's tips. And
Right, you were
that's
saying
about it.
Putin was saying some stuff like, "I'll declare war on whoever."
Yeah, basically, if Ukraine joins NATO, then he said pretty much all bets are off, and we are nuclearly
Equipped.
equipped. Yeah, exactly. But also, the U.S. has threatened nuclear first strike on them, so it's like, how the fuck are we going from no war, not even a shot fired, to
Nuclear.
I have nuclear bombs? Like, okay, quit flexing your panine, pull it back together.
Oh, my rack is huge.
Is that all it is though? It's like just flexing,
No.
like saying who has the biggest nukes.
Oh, there will
No.
definitely be an invasion into Ukraine.
You think so?
I think it's
Yeah.
happening.
100%.
They're amassing troops, all sorts of shit
They're
on the
sending
border.
Yeah, they're just sending trains like actively, 2,500 personnel, and there's going to be an invasion. It's projected to be this week and at the latest next week. And once that happens, we already know China's going to invade Taiwan. It's going to be It's going to be World War III. And as long as nobody shoots nuclear bombs, we'll be fine. But the minute that happens, we're toast. And also, America, we're going to lose against Russia and China because they just came out as allies.
Did they really?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but we 100% would lose against them.
Unless, yeah, unless
I don't
we're
know.
able
We
to
have
pull some
allies too, though.
Super worldly shit.
Well, we do have allies,
I
but
think if it was a foreign war, if it came home, we'd be fine. Personally. Unless they started using nukes and shit.
Yeah, it's gonna
that's
be.
what I'd be worried
It's gonna
about.
be another Vietnam War, Korean War, Iraqi War, where it just goes on forever, and we don't win anything.
Yeah.
That's probably how it'll be.
This is the thing that blows my mind. I now know personally 2 people that say, if there was a draft, I would not go fight for Joe Biden. Fuck him. Fuck this administration. I'd go to jail. I say, what? How does that make sense?
Depends what they're fighting for and where we're fighting. You know,
Dude, in my eyes, it doesn't matter. It's either we're going to their homeland or they're coming to ours. Would you rather just rot in a jail cell while all your countrymen go out and die? No. No. Send me out to be killed as well. Because I'll die fighting for the country. That doesn't make sense in my brain.
depends the reasons to go to war, all that. You know,
Dude, it's
Would
never
you
a
feel
good reason.
Would you feel good about fighting the Iraqi war over oil and over in the Middle Eastern countries? It's like
No,
right
but
after the towers probably would have been.
right
100%
after the
into
towers, you'd be fucking game on. You're like, okay, they attacked our country, let's fucking go.
well, they're gonna do something, dude. To set it off, they're either gonna. Well, Russia already tried to set up a video of their own troops being murdered or whatever, and it was completely fake, and the U.S. caught on to that, whatever. But either Ukraine, Russia, or the U.S. is going to have their troops be murdered, make propaganda about it, and it's going to start the invasion. 100%.
Mhm. Yep.
That's what I think.
Should be
But
fun, boys.
yeah, would it be a right reason? No. But also, it's stopping the spread of communism because that's what they're trying to do. And if they see Ukraine fall, it's over. I'm just beating a dead fucking horse. We can move on, but
Oh, you're good.
this is interesting to me.
Agreed. And you got the same push here at home, just not as militaristic at home. for the
As of
most
right
part.
now.
As of right now, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see where she goes.
Yep. Maybe we'll be in Russia next week.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
The Declaration of Independence reads.
Hard change.
Huh?
So that was a hard change.
Well, we had to get into it somehow, right?
Yeah. That's good.
Because we're talking about independence right now, even.
Yep.
So it reads, and I'm just going to read the first paragraph. We can talk a little bit about it, and then we could read one of the more famous sentences from the second paragraph, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about what the king did and see how it correlates to now. Fair enough?
Sweet.
All right. So it reads, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. So that was the first paragraph, essentially saying when it becomes necessary for people to break away from their government and declare themselves as equals to the previous government, and it is necessary for them to provide reasons to give that get that separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one's pretty easy. And then the first sentence of the second paragraph, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's probably one of the more famous quotes.
It's probably the most famous quote.
Yeah.
It kind of blows my mind that this is all based off religion, like under God.
And yet none of the creators were really religious.
No. So that makes
a
me
lot of
question.
them were agnostics. Meaning you believe in a God or a creator, and that's it.
Yeah, a higher being.
Right.
Okay.
You believe in a higher being, and that's it. Which is very interesting, because then you're reading into this, you're like, holy shit, because they didn't include the word God in the Constitution. Because that was of the people, by the people, for the people kind of thing, you know?
So where did our God-given rights come from?
Endowed by us by our Creator.
Yeah. Unalienable rights.
And they didn't mention any like specific religion either, like Christianity.
No, because freedom of religion is one of the things
Yeah, exactly.
that they were fighting for.
First. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Next sentence says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
Which has been thrown out the window.
Yep.
Egregiously thrown out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
So their only purpose is to protect rights. Also says that in
And
there.
their only power is given to them by the people.
That's funny to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, why is it funny? Yeah.
Just because the regular citizen doesn't realize how much power the people actually have.
Mhm.
They're like, no, government has
Until you
everything.
see a convoy and the government shits themselves.
Yeah, because they don't.
Oh,
Shut down the country.
it's hate. They're
Yeah.
terrorists.
The thing is, it's like, what's next? Because you know, that's the first domino, and then if people start doing stuff that's similar to that,
Which they are. They're doing convoys all around the world.
How
yeah.
much faster would that have ended if it was sewer workers or trash people?
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Instant. No one's not taking care of their own garbage.
Why not
There's
next?
not a chance.
Why not
Yeah.
make that be the next thing? Like
That'd be a good
sewage
one,
or like
actually.
trash or
Plumbers.
everything, basically.
No.
They
Right.
already have the farmers and all that out there.
Yeah, they had lots
in the
of
Canadian-
That's
tractors there.
important.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tractors.
tons of
and all that.
tractors there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There was another group. I don't remember who it was.
Neither do I.
Either way, yeah, they have a bunch of people, but power is in the people's hands.
Yeah.
They just don't realize it.
It's in the hands of the people that maintain everything.
You ever watch
Yeah.
Bug's Life?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
When one ant stands up to us,
Yes.
they'll all stand up. Next sentence reads that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Beautiful.
Whoa.
Perfectly said.
The people have the power and the right to abolish their current form of government if it does not provide for their safety and inalienable rights, and to establish a new government, just like it says, that shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Is that even possible, you think?
At
If
this
we were
point.
to crumble the United States government, like entirely?
Well, we talked about this last time, remember? It's like
Yeah.
try to fix it internally before you just rip down the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got a good foundation, good principles. The three branches of government, like they've got a real good system down.
Yeah.
It
Go
would just,
back to the basics. Sounds
yeah,
what we started with. Maybe we need some more intricacy as we're more of a connected world than we were then.
yeah.
But essentially the same.
When they originally made this, they made it anticipating a country of 300 million people.
That's what I'm saying. Just like connectivity, like foreign relations, a bit more.
Yeah,
stuff
foreign
like that.
relations. You'd have to have a bunch of the stuff between federal and state because we have 50 states now, not 13.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. But that's going to be more in the Constitution. This is just the Declaration of Independence. Them saying "fuck you, King."
James?
The third, perhaps?
No.
Let's
Thought it was-
let's figure that out. I don't remember which king it was.
I'm almost positive it was not the third, though.
I also thought it was James, but let's double check. And I'll read the next sentence
Excuse me.
because this is being way more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, which makes sense. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. So basically, people often decide to suffer rather than change that which they're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. It was the third. It was King George the Third.
King George. Okay.
Mm.
It was a J sound.
Yeah.
George. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, usurpations pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Saying, when you have a long train of abuses by your own government, pursuing the same forms of evil, then it's your right as a citizen and as a people to throw them off, essentially, and establish a new government.
Which we're long past that point. I mean, look at the Boston Tea Party. They attacked the government because they raised their taxes on tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, but yeah.
These convoys are going to be looked by history
Yeah.
similar to the Boston Tea Party,
Mm. Agreed.
which is interesting. It's not a country disrupting or like trying to break away from another country, but it is a uprising of the people. You
Mm.
know,
In a peaceful way.
Speaking of the Boston Party, I read something the other day saying people that are under 18 shouldn't be taxed because it's taxation without representation, as they can't vote.
amen.
And yeah,
I agree.
Aim
I was
fucking
into
yeah.
that.
Interesting.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. And then they list a bunch of grievances with the king. Tons of stuff. We can just read a couple of these if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. Excuse me. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. For those of you who have any idea about our Bill of Rights, then that might ring a bell for you. For imposing taxes on us without consent. For depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury. Know the hollaback to the Bill of Rights. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. Who are we bringing into our country right now? Who doesn't give a fuck about our country?
Legal immigrants from Mexico.
Beautiful. Very interesting. Very interesting, the parallels here. Jesus.
So pretty much it's exactly what's happening today.
Yes.
To a T.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Here, fucking here. That is beautiful. And then I'm just going to skip down to the last sentence here. All right. It's kind of a long one, but that's okay. We'll read it. All right. Never mind. The entire last paragraph is a sentence.
Tear it up, please.
Yeah. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, it's interesting, it's not capitalized, in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as a free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. These guys were OGs. Oh my gosh. So they basically say, we are our own free people now, and we can do whatever we well please because we are now our own colonies. We're now our own states. It's interesting that they didn't say God again in that one. With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence. They didn't say the protection of God, they said divine providence. Very interesting.
As America's the great melting pot. Probably
Yes.
not to alienate people.
I think the founding fathers were a lot different than a lot of people see them as. Like they knew some shit.
Oh, they knew some shit.
A lot of them were Masons. Just know that.
The Freemasons.
A lot
Yeah.
of them. Tons of them were.
A couple of, I know that people have written to George Washington even. They've got letters about it, talking about the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
The New
Illuminati
World
wasn't even a
Order.
bad thing either.
None of them were.
Any secret society, though.
I'm about it. I love secret societies. I'm
Secret
so about it.
societies bring down nations. We don't want that.
Not always.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Yeah, we don't
Bohemian
want it.
Grove and all that?
That's fucking weird.
That's a secret society.
Yeah, but there's ones that are doing good things.
I still don't like it.
Anonymous.
Yep, I like them.
I do too.
See, that's not a secret society, though, is it? You can do things
Bro,
and be
they're anonymous.
They're anonymous.
Yeah, but it's not like the same thing as a secret society.
Fair.
It kind
It's
of
not
is.
a cult.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that-
every secret society
cult-
turns into a cult.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fight.
Oh.
I don't know. I just disagree. Like a cult is a cult, and a secret society is a secret society. Say if we collectively made like a secret society where we made like special rings and special handshakes or whatever, and we only let certain people in, but we're all doing good things and like
Still don't like it.
Are
Be
gangs secret society?
transparent. No.
you're making it secret so people can't fuck it up.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
what if you're fucking everything up because you think you know better?
Yeah, but
That's
everyone thinks they know better. The
That's
thing
what
is
I'm
to
saying.
Let me
stick
throw a
your
little
guns.
gas on this fire.
I like it.
Do you know where the Mormon Church got a lot of its temple traditions? From the Freemasons.
Really?
Oh yeah, and there's some fucked up ones. So
And I believe it.
I'm
And
still
it
gonna
says-
stick to
it
my guns
says
on that one.
in the Book of Mormon, if we're going there, that secret societies take down nations. They don't. It's like specifically mentioned in the
Interesting.
Book of Mormon that secret societies are bad.
That's talking about like
very
the
interesting.
Gadianton robbers and shit
Yeah,
like that.
but it says secret societies in general because secrets breed hate and lies and
So then the Mormon Church is bad.
no.
They are a secret society.
I think they're bad either way. But
Oh,
It depends on. I think the current Mormon Church, yes, they're not maybe
Well,
not bad, but they
even-
definitely aren't good.
Even back in the day, if they got their shit from the Freemasons, then theoretically they'd be bad in your terms.
No, using knowledge is not the same as having secrets.
what's wrong with secrets?
Like I said, they breed hate and lies.
I don't like secrets personally.
That's why
Secrets from who though?
anybody.
I've got secrets.
A secret kept to yourself and only you is fine. When it's you share it and only keep secrets to a certain amount of people, that's what starts to cause issues in my mind. That's why I like this podcast. There's not secrets. We're putting things out there. It's transparent on how we're going places.
I could agree with that.
It's true.
Okay, what about this? Unit 731, very secretive, right?
It's bad.
Then the U.S. government got involved. Now those people are a part of our government.
Bad.
Good or bad? Because
Bad.
we are using their research for
Bad.
good.
It's bad.
Why?
Because the journey is more important than the destination. How you get there is way more important than what you get out of it.
Way of Kings, baby. Just like the was the Geneva Convention where they figured out what actually is bad.
Probably.
What was it? Anyway, it was after World War II. They had
Oh yeah.
they had the
then
big trial and everything,
Geneva or like Versailles or something. One of those.
and they said, "Okay, there are things in this world that are actually evil," and they went and employed a lot of those scientists.
Yeah. It's not good.
What classifies
interesting.
something as evil, though? And who's classifying it?
They decided
and
that
I do
in
think
that
it-
case.
I do think it was the Geneva.
I think it was.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Evil?
I
I
don't know.
There's a couple of things. It's something that when you see it, you would know, though. I think it's an instinctive thing in everybody. You see something, you know that's vile, that's evil.
And
Right.
most people can agree on it. Like you
Yeah.
kill an innocent child, that's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Abortion is what you're referring to.
I mean, yeah.
See, and the only reason I think that one's not considered is because they can't decide on when it's a child or not.
That's exactly. And
But the minute it's a
fed in-
child and they say you kill it, everyone's not okay with it. You know?
That's
but
true.
But it's been fed into everybody's mind that it's so okay, so they don't see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
know what's
but
funny?
The minute everyone decided it was a child, it would never. No one would argue that it's evil. You know?
see, it's still fucking with me though because it's like it's not evil because their intentions aren't bad.
The
it's
road
not,
to hell is paved with good intentions. Intentions matter, but actions matter more.
I agree with you there.
This is how we know abortion is evil, because and the U.S. government does too, and everyone involved. If you kill a pregnant lady, that's double homicide.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can go kill the baby, and that's no homicide. So they know it's evil. They know it's wrong, but it's illegal.
It's at least murder.
Yes.
Yeah, but how's that double homicide in the government's eyes? But then killing the baby just outright, even after it's been born, that's okay. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, I have a question. This is kind of this random, but like, say if someone killed your daughter or your wife,
I'd
you
kill
think you
him.
should have the right to kill them?
100%. Put me in the room with them 5 minutes. No weapons, no
I'd kill
nothing. I'm gonna kill
I
him.
don't think it's right, but I'd kill him.
Yeah.
Because,
But
I mean, you're
it's
taking...
not evil though, is it?
No. Unless you do some horrid things to him.
Mm. But then again, you're taking someone's life. So, are you stooping to their
No,
level?
Taking someone's life isn't inherently evil. I mean, straight murder is, but like, I don't know.
Is it?
There's a lot.
Yeah,
Murder?
is it?
I think
So there's a difference between morality and evil, right? Obviously, killing someone, killing a baby, that is bad on the morality side. Is it evil?
And that's what I'm saying. How do you know if something's evil? Yes, it can carry bad energy with it.
I think
Yeah,
you just
but here's
But
the
is
thing.
it
When
evil?
you said like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, I think intentions has to do with evil, because there's some people that actually enjoy hurting other people. That is evil in my mind.
Right, yeah.
Like, you're enjoying this and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Some people are just ignorant and they have, like, yeah, I think I'm doing the best thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people want to do the Green New Deal or whatever the heck, where they want to get rid of, like, coal emissions entirely in the entire world.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's a good thing.
No. But they have good intentions on wanting to save the earth, but in reality, they'd be killing millions of people that can't provide for themselves in, like, Africa and stuff, because it's still the cheapest and most effective fuel source.
And it's just because they want to pick a side and say they're, like, doing good, or they think they're doing good, instead of actually looking into it and doing research.
Yeah, so it's good intentions, but you're putting a brick in the path, you know?
So you have to have intelligence to be evil. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't say a dog or something.
No.
Maybe cruel, but I wouldn't call a dog evil.
Ah, that's what it is. It's the Nuremberg trials. It wasn't the Geneva Convention.
Interesting.
Like Hitler, we can all agree, he was an evil man.
So smart. So fucking smart.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an intelligent man.
And I think,
But-
as things go, humans are the only things that can be evil.
Well, yeah, it talks about it in Outwitting the Devil, too. It's humans are the only ones who can ruin their own lives, basically, too.
Yeah.
Like, get in their own way.
Well, even with Hitler, was he evil? He was doing something that he truly believed was the right thing. Get rid of the Jews because they're
And
ruining.
he made a lot of good stuff happen, too.
Yeah.
Like, inventions as scientists, but, again, it's the way that you get there is horrendous and it's awful.
Sure.
Maybe the good outweighed the bad in the long term, but I don't know. It's the same thing with when you say it's for the greater good. To me, that immediately puts down as you're bad. You're doing stuff that should not be done.
Yeah.
What if you're doing good things, but for bad reasons? Like, say you take a person that does only good things to other people for their whole life. They create awesome stuff. They're good to people, but they're only doing it to, like, get clout or, you know, to look like a good person or something like that. Do you think that is a good person because all their actions were good, even though their mind wasn't in the right spot because they were just, like, a narcissist and wanted attention?
I think it can go.
I still think you'd be a good person at that point. You can be narcissistic all you want, but as long as you're treating others well and giving back, that's not evil.
I think yeah, even
evil-
if it's the wrong
That's
idea.
just fake, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just being fake.
But
Dude, a
Not
great
evil.
example, Pablo Escobar. He would, like, he was known as the Robin Hood for the Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
But also he murdered so many people. But then he'd give so much back to the community. Is he evil? Or is he just doing something that narcissistic? He got billions and billions of dollars, but he was also giving so much back. And he was only killing people that were also involved in the drug trade. Is that evil? I don't think so.
I've heard a lot of, like, debates on that. Like,
Well, what do you think?
it's hard because it's like, on one point, I agree. Like, the means weren't, like, the greatest, and you probably shouldn't. My thing is, you shouldn't get in that situation in the first place. If you wanted to help your country out, do something different. You know?
I'm always the means never justify the ends,
No, ever.
unless it's done in a correct and right way. The means never justify the ends.
But, like, think about this, too. Taking down the...
Never.
See, I can acknowledge that good things can
Never.
come over it, but like
Let's think
means
about
never
this.
justify ends to me.
The means never justify the ends, huh?
What about
No,
America?
don't do the plan
America.
thing, because I know that there's stupid shit that I'm gonna be like, okay, yes, but in general, without taking a nuanced approach about it, this is what the means never justify the ends.
All right.
No, because then you have to look at war, like the
Here they are.
Revolutionary War and stuff. You had to kill a lot of people, but it was for...
What about the Civil War?
Yeah.
Or wait,
Any war that, like, released us.
No, what war was the one that we fought over slavery? Was that the Civil War?
War.
Do the means justify the ends in that one?
So that was not over slavery.
Nope, it wasn't.
It was over money.
Yep.
But if it was,
It was
over
guys
slavery,
to slavery.
and now,
Huh,
if
had
it
me
was
fooled.
over slavery, the reason that the means justify the ends in this case is that you're directly like lording over another human's rights. Does that make sense? You're using force to make people do things.
So you think
If
it'd be
you
okay?
listen to what's his name? The guy that does the 13 Principles of Prosperity?
Jordan Peterson?
No.
No.
I
I know who you're
Rick
talking
Kerber?
about. Yes.
He explains it when he talks about rights, I think, very well, as to why you should, like, you're not imposing your will or your ability to harm someone over them.
If you want to get politically educated, listen to those principles, and your mind will be blown off your head.
Yeah,
And I
you
think-
still have them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we have them
I
in
need
the
them.
Yeah.
thing, right?
we have them in the Google Drive too, I believe.
Updraft.
Wait, on here?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they should be there.
That'd be nice to listen to at work.
Just remember, keep in mind who it is you're listening to.
A possible fraud.
Correct. But also
yes.
Even frauds have good meaning.
correct.
So with all things, I can acknowledge that good things come out of bad places.
Yeah, a lot of cult leaders have some good shit to say too.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Hashtag Mormon Church. What? All right.
Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne.
Okay.
Tell
No,
us
that's
about
just
it.
one of them. I've listened to a lot of the cult leader speeches and stuff from around the world. Like even the guy who was the instigator for those 900 and something people committing suicide in one go.
What was his name? Was that the dude who's like
Was it
drink the
Manson?
Kool-Aid? Charles Manson?
No, that's not
Different
Charles
guy?
Manson. That's
Yeah, that's
Drink the
that's where
Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid comes from.
I'll tell you real quick.
In the meantime, I can read the Nuremberg
Michael-
Principles.
something Jones.
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
I think so.
It's Jim Jones.
Let's see.
Or David Koreff. Some.
No, David Koresh. That was the guy.
Here. Let's just
No,
look
who
this
was
up.
that guy? I know exactly what that was. It was about the big ass compound that the fucking FBI and shit was blasting loud music.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rabbits being murdered and stuff. Yeah, and then yeah. Either way, dude, I can't find this. Oh, Jim Jones. Yeah, Jim Jones. He was born in 1977,
nice.
or no, 1931. Oh, I was off.
Probably killed
Suicide
a lot
by
of people.
gunshot.
It is not an act of violence.
Yeah, it was gnarly. They were all committing suicide with cyanide laced in their Kool-Aid.
And they knew it.
Yeah, and they knew it.
And then they were purposely giving, like, people who wouldn't do it, they were giving them shots and shit of
Yep.
it. Or they just
Inject
kill
them with it. Yep.
Mhm.
So the Nuremberg Principles that they came up with after World War II, basically establishing that yes, there is evil in this world and people need to pay for it, kind of thing. Principle 1, it says any person who commits an act which constitutes a crime under international law is responsible therefore and liable to punishment. Principle 2, the fact that internal law does not impose a penalty for an act which constitutes a crime under international law does not relieve the person who committed the act from responsibility under international law. That's where you're getting people in Germany who are legally killing these Jews and stuff, and they had to answer for it later on because it was legal in Germany and encouraged. But outside of that, it's like, nah, there is evil things.
That's where war crimes and all that shit would come into play.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that a person who committed, this principle 3, the fact that a person who committed an act which constitutes a crime under international law, acted as head of state or responsible government official, does not relieve him from responsibility under international law. Very interesting. And 4, the fact that a person acted pursuant to order of his government or of a superior does not relieve him from responsibility under international law, provided a moral choice was in fact possible to him. So even the people who just went along with the show, they're not acquitted.
Which
It was the
to me
Wake,
makes sense.
the siege of Waco. That was David Koresh.
Oh,
Oh, I've listened so much about that. It's interesting. Anyways.
okay. Principle 5, any person charged with a crime under international law has the right to a fair trial on the facts and law. Let's see. Crimes against peace. This is in Principle 6 where they're given kind of a
An overview.
an overview on these things. I was going to say definitions. There we go. So crimes against peace are considered planning, preparation, initiation, or waging of a war of aggression or a war in violation of international treaties, agreements, or assurances, or participation in a common plan or conspiracy for the accomplishment of any of the acts mentioned under the first one. War crimes are violations of the laws or customs of war, which include, but are not limited to, murder, ill treatment, or deportation to slave labor, or for any other purpose of civilian population of or in occupied territory, murder or ill treatment of prisoners of war or persons on the seas, killing of hostages, plunder of public or private property, wanton destruction of cities, towns, or villages, or devastation not justified by military necessity.
Which
Riots are war crimes? Fuck. Then the definition for crimes against humanity: murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, and other inhumane acts done against any civilian population, or persecutions on political, racial, or religious grounds when such acts are done or such persecutions are carried on in execution of or in connection with any crime against peace or any war crime.
and
Leaders.
these are human crimes against humanity.
Crimes against humanity. Leaders, organizers, instigators, and accomplices participating in the formulation or execution of a common plan or conspiracy to commit any of the foregoing crimes are responsible for all acts performed by any persons in execution of such plan. Fucking hell.
So as far as we can see, no one actually gives a shit about this, right?
Correct.
If they did, we'd be invading China.
And
As
also,
we know, there's genocide going on.
we have crimes against humanity right here.
I know. So this
You know?
doesn't mean anything.
No, apparently not. And then finally, the last principle, Principle 7, complicity in the commission of a crime against peace, a war crime, or a crime against humanity, as set forth in Principle 6, is a crime under international law. Okay, very interesting.
So, remind me what a crime against humanity looks like. What that looks like.
Genocide.
Murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, and other inhumane acts done against any civilian population.
Chemical warfare against their own people.
Wait,
Yeah.
deportation.
Yeah,
Does that mean like just sending them back to their own country, or does it mean like deporting them to like an island?
that's going to be like, putting them in camps, internment camps.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Which we did that in Utah.
Sure did.
And then we
Yes, we
murdered
did.
all of them.
Yep.
Wait, whoa, what?
Yeah, we
yeah,
did
it
that
was the Japanese.
during World War II, down in Salina, Utah. We had a bunch of internment camps there, and then a bunch of them got slaughtered. There's a book about it by a guy that I know.
Damn. That's
He
not
he
good.
like did a deep dive into it, and the U.S. had it all covered up and everything for a lot of years, and he went and uncovered it and wrote a book about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I could probably find the book if I wanted to, but
That'd be interesting.
yeah, that would be an interesting read for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And what were those 7? What are they called?
This is the Nuremberg Principles. So after
Right.
World War II, they had the Nuremberg trials. That's saying there is evil in this world, things you can't do, and here you go, bam.
But go ahead and do them anyways.
Right, yeah. Now, it doesn't seem to have much of an impact.
Yeah. So.
Do you guys want to get back to the United States stuff, Constitution?
Go over the amendments or what?
Well, we're going to open the Constitution. We could start reading a little bit of the articles, or at least maybe like a first sentence of the article or something like that. There's quite a bit, but yeah, we can simply go over the amendments. That's fine too.
How?
I think we should do that on a different one.
Yeah. How far are we in? Because we're talking for a minute.
About 30 minutes or so. 40. Nice. That works. Well, we can introduce at least the preamble, because that's
I'll be down for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's more of a well-known verse as well. So the Constitution of the United States starts with the preamble. It goes something like this: "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America."
Powerful.
Yeah. And then it goes into all the articles, which we can... instead of reading the articles, let's go into the amendments a little bit. Let's brush over the first 10, and then we can continue on the rest of them next time, maybe. Sound
Sounds
good?
to me.
All right, awesome. So for the listeners, definitely go in and read each section of the Constitution. It would be very beneficial for you. But for right now, we're just going to go over the amendments. We already did do a podcast on the first 10 amendments called the Bill of Rights. And then we can talk a little bit more about those. All right. We are going to do a quick briefing on the first 10 amendments. Let me go over this real quick here. There they are. Excuse me. All right. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Amen. Your right of free speech.
Quite important.
Yeah. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
I think militia is a good word there, too, because it's of the people and not a military.
Correct.
Means the people should be armed, not
Yep.
just the military.
And they are necessary to the security of a free state.
I don't know how good militias are, to be honest.
I think it's
They
better
get
than
fruity
nothing.
quick.
I think it's way better than nothing.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but at the protests and all that, you're having armed militias come out.
As long as no one's dying.
I think that's good.
I think, in fact,
I think
that's
having
our
the
right.
people come out with arms, if there are riots and shit, that's
Well,
very good.
Yeah, the people, but like during the Black Lives Matter riots and stuff, they're having nothing wrong with black, but they're having black armed militias come out.
I think
And even if
that's-
it was the Proud Boys coming out, I don't think that's good.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but-
it's good for a riot, but I think it's entirely their right. So,
Absolutely, yeah. Freedom to bear arms, 100%. I just don't think that that's the right way to do it. Because you're using it as an intimidation factor, not against the police, not against the government, against your own people. That's what
Right,
most
and
militia groups are.
as they should be used as for against the government and
Agreed.
foreign and domestic threats, not your people, not your
Yeah.
friends, not your family, not your community.
Exactly, and they're using it against their community.
Hmm.
Amendment 3. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. And that's interesting that it says in time of peace,
Why?
because it just says no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. So that leaves it open for them to be quartered with you in times of war.
Yeah, which I don't think would be bad.
Well, I think the issue they had with it back in the day is that they just come in and eat their food and do whatever the fuck they wanted in their house.
Right, yeah.
So,
Which, yeah, that would be wrong, but I mean, if the soldiers need a place to stay, I think that is important.
I think you should have a choice, though.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why it is the Third Amendment. Yeah, because you would want nobody coming into your house without your permission.
But to be prescribed by law, I wonder what laws have to do with that.
there's probably some already.
Yeah.
You've just never heard about it.
What probably has to happen is you have to get compensation, much like the laws where they can take your house or whatever if it's in the greater good of the people, like if they're putting a freeway through there or whatever, and you have to sell your house, but they have to give you the fair market value for that. Or like I was talking to a guy, they wanted to use the first third of his property for a road to expand the road a little bit, and he held off. He's like, no, until they finally took it from him, but he ended up getting $40,000 more out of it than he would have if he had just sold it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have equivalent compensation for it.
That's what the movie Yellowstone is based off of. It's a true story
Oh,
where the U.S. government was trying to come in and take all of his land. I think it was.
Is that the one where they shot at him and stuff? And, like it was a standoff on their ranch?
No, that was the Wake.
That's Waco.
That was Waco.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But even then, that wasn't because of land. Like, it was not because of land.
No. Why was it? Said too many
'Cause-
firearms or something like that?
No, all the firearms were legally registered, and they showed that. But it was essentially because they did believe that, well, it was a cult. That's what they were believing, and that they were doing bad shit in there. So then they made it up as an excuse to go and kill them,
Interesting.
which they did.
What was the Yellowstone thing about? I've never seen it.
I haven't seen the full thing either, but basically they were just trying to take his land, and I want to say that the Indians were involved in some way because it was on their land as well, or like the verge of it. So it was a whole big fiasco, but you can't quote me on it because I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
There's a kid at our bar that works in there that had a small part in that show.
Really?
Yellowstone.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Like the new Yellowstone that they?
Yeah.
That's about that?
Hmm.
I had no idea.
I'll get the factual statements.
I thought that was just a cowboy show, but
Oh.
that's all I'd seen. So
Yeah. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things to be seized.
that's interesting.
So that's been thrown out the fucking window. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. That's just been thrown right out the window. Because, like, obviously they have probable cause, but it's like, what constitutes probable cause? That's anything.
anything you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Amendment 5. Nope. Oh, did you? Never mind. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. That's where it is.
Okay, so basically what this is saying is it is kind of based on a true story, but in 2015 it was sold for $725 million. Their ranch.
Interesting.
So it's kind of based on a true story, kind of not, but yeah.
Amendment 6. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. So that's interesting, and they definitely should have thrown out Kyle Rittenhouse's thing because there was people recording in there was jury members that were compromised, all that shit. They should have just thrown the case right out. Like, this is not right under Amendment 6. Done.
Yes. He also questioned his Fifth Amendment right to
Yeah,
be quiet.
that's absolute bullshit.
Should be immediately thrown out, and you lose your license.
Yeah.
Don't violate it.
Don't touch that. Amendment 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. So, this is saying any amount over $20. California, they won't. The police won't even get you unless it's over 900 and.
No, for 900.
Was it
I
over
thought it was
$900?
1,000.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
It was close.
Anything under 1,000, and it's just, I think
It's
it was
free
just a
game.
misdemeanor.
It's free game.
Yeah, misdemeanor free game. Yeah.
You're saying if you steal?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
that
people
much?
will run in there with bags and then fill it up, and as long as it doesn't reach over $1,000, it's just
They don't even have an issue.
fucking go on.
Yep.
Seen
Interesting.
videos, yeah, of people going in with 10, 15 friends and empty a store.
Yeah.
And walk out and no one can do anything about it.
Wow.
Mhm. Amendment
$20.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is $20. I wonder if they have an equivalent now. You know, but still, over $20. It seems like you still want a trial. You
I
know?
think if you're stealing, you're stealing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. So, Kyle Rittenhouse had a $2 million bail, didn't he?
I don't remember.
It was in the millions.
And there have been many other cases where they didn't have a bail even near that.
And they did worse
And
things.
they did worse things.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Because that was just straight political.
I wonder what the bail was for the guy that ran through that parade.
It was not that much.
Probably for
Can
free.
you look it up?
Yeah. Does anybody know his name?
I'll bet you can find it by typing up "man runs through parade."
It was some weird one. I don't remember.
Anyway, while he looks that up, Amendment 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Oh, you repeat
So-
that.
Yeah. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So, if I'm getting this right, it's saying basically the rights that are contained in the Constitution shall not be construed to deny other rights that are retained by the people. So basically, anything that's not mentioned in the Constitution, you still have rights, but it may not have said it. May not have covered everything, right?
Right. Dude, the one about jury or for a speedy trial or whatever,
Yes.
that has been so thrown out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it
even
depends what's speedy.
nothing, apparently, because there's people on death row that are in there for 40, 50, 60 years.
Well, they had to have gone through a trial to get on death row, right?
Sure, and all the repeals, or is it appeal, or appeal, or appeal?
Appeal? I think
Appeal,
Appeal.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, that just doesn't sound very speedy to me.
No, it doesn't. If you're going to be put to death, be put to death or not.
Well,
Right.
even for your DUI, I bet you be done with the courts for a year or two, if not longer.
Probably.
That's not speedy.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
just reality.
Too much bureaucracy.
this says bail had initially been set at $10,000 in the case, but
fucking
Brooks had
way.
asked for a speedy trial, or jury trial, which could not be met. Bail was reduced to $500.
Oh, my fuck.
What was his name?
And he killed way more people than Kyle.
5 people. He ran over little kids. Let me find it. Daryl Brooks.
There. Okay, that wasn't that weird.
There you go.
Hmm.
So, yes, excessive bail. Interesting.
I don't have a trial though. It's a hearing. My case won't go to trial unless I want it to.
Hopefully,
Which probably
shouldn't have
wouldn't
an
No,
be
issue.
worth
I don't
it.
want to do that.
Trial's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
if you're disputing it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you want to fight it,
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what the hearing says, and then if you want to dispute it from there.
no, then I'll have to pay my lawyer $6,000 extra, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's expensive as fuck.
Mhm.
All right.
Dang.
Amendment 10. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. So that's the one that's saying any of the rights not in the Constitution are the states' rights and the people's rights.
Yeah, power to the
So
states.
what did Amendment 9 say? Amendment 9 is just saying that those rights will not be construed. The rights retained by the people shall not be construed. That's what Amendment 9 is saying.
Misinterpreted on purpose.
Correct.
Like
Interesting.
freedom to bear arms.
Yeah.
Purposely misconstrued as
It's like, oh,
They
it's
meant
only
muskets.
certain arms.
They meant
Yeah.
muskets.
Only muskets and cannons.
No, we should have
That'll-
fully automatics. So
I
I
agree.
believe I should be able to own a tank. Sorry,
I agree.
I think you can own a tank.
Yeah, just
You
as
just
long
can't
as
buy
it's
weapon.
unarmed.
Or you can't buy ammo for it.
I should be able to buy ammo for my tank.
Yes.
And jets.
Yep.
Yep, bazookas.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Fucking cool.
So that's your Bill of Rights. That's the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. Next time we can go into the other ones. Oh shit, some of them are a little bit long, but that's okay.
Those were all written in 1791, and then the other was so. The next one was 1795.
And they had to write the Bill of Rights so that all the states would actually ratify the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of them were holding out, like, nah, we don't actually have rights under the Constitution. Let's see what you can do about that.
Yep. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. 25, 27. Yeah, that's what I thought. 27 amendments. Interesting. All right. So yeah, we'll get into the rest of the amendments next time. It'll probably take an entire podcast to get through each of them, and lots of reading, but that's okay. Not a problem.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to cover this round?
I don't think so. I think we smashed it.
Okay, sounds good. To the listeners, definitely study and look over the founding documents of these United States. Look over the Articles of Confederation, the Federalist Papers. That's what I was thinking of earlier.
Right.
Look over the Federalist Papers. It all has to do with the founding of this country. It's very interesting reads. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Like the smash button.
Yes.
Like this man.
Like.
All right, see you guys.